Years ago, I came across this book, Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hills. And it was one of my favorite books on wealth and personal development. And in that book, Napoleon Hills talks about this concept of sexual transmutation and how your life transforms when you focus on transmuting your sexual energy and how it can become a very potent tool for your transformation as a man. And over these years, I have thought a lot about it. I went on this journey to explore masculine and feminine energies. I studied this topic and I became an apprentice to this one subject. And what I think is it's very true, of course, but also I think people do not pay much attention to how much sexual energy impacts your business. So in this video, let's talk about this topic. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this, especially in this podcast, is our generation is living through the time of hyper-stimulus. We are hyper-sexualized. If we look at the advertisements, especially if you are a man, then you look at women with hot bodies and they are kind of used to create the craving and the desire for the product. And if you are a woman, then shiny objects like a red dress or psychological triggers that are created to keep you hooked into the products. So we are living in a hyper stimulated world, and this not just happened by chance. There are very intelligent people who are running the show behind, and now we have AI and all these other technologies that are getting used to take it to whole another level. So there are two things. There is hyper stimulus, and then we are also looking at a hyper acceleration. You see, right now we are living in a time of AI pornography, for example. Now, all these things are to sexualize your brain. And what happens is, this is one of the most powerful desire of a man. And if your entire world is revolving around that desire, it's very hard to focus on something that is worthwhile on the first place. Well, I'm not saying that sexual activities are not worthwhile. In some cases, yes, they are. But getting too much involved into it, it creates a skewed map of the world because the energy is so powerful. You try to see everything from that one angle. So everything else becomes dull because you are looking at the shiniest, the most rewarding pleasure as a human. So in India, there is a concept called Brahmacharya that can be translated to the discipline of senses. So if you are involved in a sexual activity, then you get involved in it in a discipline. Or if you are hyper stimulated with food, what you do is you go back to eating a good enough food and not based on your cravings. You see, this idea of just having good enough, that really fascinates me. So let's say you are building a business and you also have other super interesting things. Let's say you are also learning to dance, you are also going to parties, and you are having a really crazy day that is other than your business. What is going to happen is all those other activities are going to take most of your time, and because business itself is not going to be the most rewarding thing, at least in the near future, because business is a game of delayed gratification. So what you are going to do is you will never be able to focus on business and creation. So the advice that most of the people give is, if you really want to create something, then you need to find a routine for yourself where this one activity is the most interesting one. You need to create an environment that supports your creation. And for most of the people, this is not the case. And I think a part of it is sexuality. Because, first of all, everything starts there. And throughout our life, we work to have better sex in a way. Because let's say a man is working on his finances and his looks and his body language, and he's learning a lot of stuff. A woman is taking care of herself. We are preparing ourselves to be a better partner. And this is why you will see a lot of married couple, when they go through the relationship, you will see they become dull because there is no bigger motivation to chase for most of the people. And this, I think, is a problem. If you do not have a purpose and you do not have a direction of your life, you naturally have some responsibilities and you naturally have some goals. And one of the goals is your responsibility to create more life on this planet. And the way it is going to happen is through sexuality. So throughout your life, you prepare your body to be a better partner. If we do not have a purpose, if we do not have a goal that is beyond it, that is beyond this sexual identity, this will be the only thing that you will do. Once you will achieve it, you will stop taking care of yourself. You will not have a worthy goal to chase. I think a big portion of our generation is struggling with that. This is why I think sexuality plays a very important role in every aspect of our life, including business. And desexualizing your brain from things that are hyper stimulating is going to help you in your creation. There are evidences of people seeing a big 180-degree transformation when they stopped watching pornography, or when they stopped eating hyper stimulating food, or when they stopped going to parties, and when they stopped doing alcohol. Now, how can you do it? One of the ways is building a routine. When you wake up at a specific time, when you eat at specific time, when you do things at specific time, and your natural body clock gets familiar with your routine, you will have less decision fatigue and you will have more energy to take decisions. That is very important. And second part is really avoiding things that are fucking up with your brain. For example, if you are involved in watching pornography, or if you are surrounded with the men who talk about women all the time, well, get away from them. In India, there are two concepts that are important. One is abhyas, which is practice for long time, and you are focusing your energy, you are in alignment with everything. And second part is vairagya. That means getting detached and avoiding things that you do not want in your life. This is where you can start focusing on something that is beyond you, because this is where you can transmute your sexual energy into the force of creation. If you have a purpose that you think is worth living, and if you are a conscious entrepreneur, this is a great thought to take in and meditate on. I would love to know what do you think about it. Let me know in the comment box, or if you have any questions. We have the community of conscious entrepreneurs. I will put the link in the description. Join it if you think this is in alignment with what you are doing. We are talking a lot about business, alignment, niche, communities, and a lot of interesting topics. So this is the end of the video. I will talk to you in another one.